Hi guys, Hayden Simmons here from the Portrait Guru, and in today's video I'm going to share how I created this eye drawing from start to finish that you can follow along at home. Start the drawing by using a H pencil. So this is considered a hard pencil, and I do this to sketch the layout and the structure of the drawing before going on to the details. And you can see here that I'm using a soft pencil, so a 4B up to a 6B and also a 2B as well. So these are considered soft pencils. These are great at drawing those or rendering the dark shades within a drawing. So start off by using a hard pencil first and then transitioning into a soft pencil going forwards when you're going on to the details. So I'm using a hard pencil here. I'm drawing with straight lines first to begin the drawing, and you can see I've done 3 lines for the top of the eye drawing, and then I would do 2 lines for the bottom of the eye. These sketches are quite loose, they're not that hard pressure on the page. I'm just drawing the whole structure and the shape of that eye. So you can see the 3 lines at the top, 2 lines at the bottom, and also that tear duct in the corner of the eye there. I then begin to draw the iris, and you can see I'm doing a big circular motion. I'm not stopping at the top of the eyelid, I'm actually following through. Do let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comment section below and how you got on with your own eye drawing. I'd love to hear how you got on. I then draw 2 lines to represent that 3D element underneath that eye. Draw the top eyelid with 3 lines. I then go back around the iris and then draw out the eyebrow. As you can see, I'm using quite straight lines within this sketching and layout period. I'm not focusing too much on the details at this stage, so hopefully by now you've got something that resembles this sort of layout. It's all very simple. Go on to the inner iris itself, or the pupil, and it's really important that you try and ghost your lines as well. Ghosting basically hovers your pencil about a centimetre away from that paper, and then you do that 3 or 4 times, and then you actually commit to that line on, say, the 4th or the 5th stroke. So you can see that I've done that with those 3 circles on the left. So always try and ghost your lines. It would make for better drawings and your line quality will improve as well. And then go on to a 2B pencil. So this is considered a softer pencil than the H pencil. So this is perfect for the rendering part of this process, which we're moving on to now. You can see I'm doing the ghosting technique for the upper eyelid, or the upper part of that eye, and I'm being quite circular and curved in that nature. A bit of mistake there with the corner of that tear duct, but it's okay, I've just redrawn it and it's not a big deal. It's quite hard at this stage as it's quite a big shadow underneath that upper eyelid. I then draw the iris and then fill that in with one solid tone. I then draw the outer part of that iris, just following the sketch. I then draw parts of that tear duct and then draw a hard tone on the top part of that eye. So hopefully you're following along at home. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Portrait Guru for even more videos like this in the future. I then draw the bottom part of that eye and then add some extra tones to the top part of that eye. So you can see the little bit of shadow on the top part of that eye. Keep referring back to the photograph as this is really important. You can also rotate your paper to make it more comfortable for you to draw with. So if you're finding some angles are a bit hard to draw, just rotate your paper and then draw it in a more comfortable stance. And then always have by your side some sort of drink. I've got a tea. Always works well. I then draw the inner parts of that eye just adding some rendering to that part. I keep referring back to the photograph which I'm drawing from. You can see I'm using quite straight lines for the inner part or the rendering part of that iris, and then I further outline that iris. And then we've got the filled out part of that iris complete, and now you can see it's really taken shape now, which is great. I then draw some extra hard tones around the outside of that iris, and I make sure my mark making is going around or is in a curved motion, as an eye is not flat on the surface. So always think in 3D, always think in a three-dimensional way, and this will improve and make your drawing seem more realistic going forwards. And then add some tones underneath the bottom of that eye, going around and doing a circular or curved motion with my hand. I then begin to draw the eyelashes, going from the middle part to the outer part of that eye, and you can see from the reference photograph that there's more eyelashes to the corner of the left of that eye. So I draw more eyelashes on the left than the right. I try to add some variation to those eyelashes just to make it a bit more interesting, and then draw a hard line to represent the eyelid, and then just some more details and some more wrinkles underneath that eye as well. Using quite a swooping motion throughout, and then adding just a few eyelashes below that eye as well. Some are going in this direction, some are going in that direction. Just make it a bit more interesting, and make sure your line weight is varied as well. Adding some further lines to the bottom of that eye. I then use or transition into a H pencil for this part. Then adding some extra tones around the skin of that eye as well, as it's not completely white on that reference photograph. If it helps, you can also turn your reference photograph into a black and white so you can see the tones of that reference photo, or you can also squint your eyes like this, and it helps you notice all the tones of that photograph as well. So I'm always trying to depict where are the darkest tones of the reference photo and where are the lightest tones, and then trying to draw the midtones within that drawing as well. I then go on to the eyebrows. Being quite expressive with my line work here, just following the structure of those initial hard lines on the paper. And now you can see we've got a fully fledged eye, and also the eyelashes and also the eyebrows as well. Keep working into it just to make it as realistic as possible. So I'm trying to make this as dark as possible within these eyebrows. As you can see, it's quite a dark area of the photograph. I then use a 6B pencil. You don't have to use such a dark or a soft pencil. You can use a 2B or a 4B pencil, that'll be absolutely fine, and you can also use a HB as well. So if you don't have all the tools that I'm using, just stick to even one pencil. That'll still be a good start. I then add some tones to the actual eyebrows itself, using that soft pencil to draw some darker tones around the eye. You can see my pencil is quite flat on the page, and you can do this to create quite a lot of tone in a short amount of time. So just position your pen or pencil further down that page. I then begin to add some extra details to the bottom of the eye, like so. Then adding some extra shadows to the corner of the eye as well. Going around the eye and making sure it's not flat on the surface. And then adding some extra details to the iris. And if you have a white pencil or a good eraser, you can actually make some light tones within that iris as well. I actually forgot to do this within my drawing, but feel free to do this within yours. And so you can see it's really taking shape here. If you wanted to add more eyelashes, you wanted to make the eyebrows not so prominent or big, feel free to do that. You can use your creative or artistic license as much as you want. Just working into the piece as we begin to get to the final stages of this drawing. Just adding some extra darkness and just to make it as 3D as possible. You can see I'm using mainly 3 pencils for this stage of the drawing. So it's that hard H pencil, it's that 2B, and it's that also the 6B pencil as well. I also turn my drawing upside down just so I can notice any potential errors within my drawing in contrast or comparison to the reference photograph. I really do urge you to do this within any drawing that you do, and this is essential if you're drawing from a photograph. This allows you to see any potential errors within your drawing. And then we're coming up to the final stages of this drawing. Do give this video a like, comment to me below with any questions that you might have of how you got on with your own eye drawing, and do subscribe to the Portrait Guru. And there we have it, the final eye drawing. And I really do recommend you checking out this video coming up.